Building relationships was the core way for us to actually build to our first 7 figures. Allow people to remember how they felt connecting with you or being on the podcast. Even our competitors are never competitors. They are collaborators, because you want to see how you can help them as well as they can help you. And so we've generated multiple millions through podcasting, through our offers, through different things, through different conversations. And it's all been around podcasting. Hey everyone, it's Tamara Thompson with Women Unlocking Wealth, and I'm here with my co-host Danielle.
Hey everybody.
And today we're going to talk about what it's like and how to grow to your first 7 figures in business. What would you like to share on this note, Danielle? Because this is quite a feat that we've realized the reason that we created this show was because the majority of people that we've talked to, small businesses and women entrepreneurs, don't typically even reach that mark.
The most important thing is really getting your systems in place, like understanding like what systems, even for like fulfillment, for onboarding, for sales, for marketing, for lead gen, like having systems in place for each department and going full force with that, like understanding that in order to scale any business, you really need to delegate. And then we talked about this a little bit on the last episode, but delegating to an extent where you're not the one in the fulfillment. So as soon as a client is signs a contract, moves forward with you as a service provider or company or, you know, whatever they're hiring you for, that you literally have somebody that already does the onboarding and you move them to the departments that they make sense for them. Like, it's not about like trying to do any of the fulfillment yourself. Your main role as a CEO is going to be sales. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be also understanding like the marketing strategies that get those calls booked on your calendar. And then eventually you're going to have somebody doing the sales for you. So then you could build out the sales departments and you could have multiple people doing that. You could have multiple appointment setters, but having more systems in place. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think actually, yes, the first 7 figures, and I've been told this by mentors and even a lot of our clients, even myself, as we built our first 7 figures, I was a salesperson. I did all the sales. I've generated multiple millions in sales myself as a salesperson. And then over the years, we had to actually delegate and set people out, you know, to events and stuff like that. I don't go to events. One of the ways that we actually helped scale out to our first 7 figures was actually sponsoring events. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, sometimes we would go out, but then we'd actually just hire reps to go out and utilize, you know, certain sales processes, right? So, and these events, we'd make sure that we could actually sell at the events, right? If you were the ones that I would focus on going to myself is if I was actually speaking on the stage, because that was a good point to position myself as the authority on stage. And then people would automatically see the value or get the helpful information and then approach me after the event or follow me on Instagram or follow our YouTube channel, whatever that looked like. That helped position me as the authority. So if you are a founder or a CEO and it actually interests you to speak on stages or start your own events or start your own workshops, to get to that 7-figure mark a lot faster. And that's how we did it, was actually sponsoring events, hosting events. I remember our first really successful event, we generated it was actually, we hadn't even proven the concept yet. It was like we had started dabbling in this one subscription model. And then we had this event where we had, you know, a couple hundred people or less show up for this event. And, but I remember in the sales room conversation, out of those like 200 people that actually showed up sporadically through different things, because we hired a keynote, and then like, of course the room was full when the keynote was there, but then people tend to go out to events and event hop and stuff like that. I remember we counted, there was only 77 people in the room when the offer was actually prepared and shared, out of the 200 attendees that we had that sporadically would come for the keynotes or the VIP parties or whatever they wanted to go to at that point. So 77 people, out of that, we enrolled about 16 people. So, you know, you think like, okay, cool. But we enrolled them in a subscription model that was high end. And it was great because we ended up generating, you know, over $250,000 in a matter of 2 days. And so most people are like, wow, $250,000. We're like, okay, I mean, that wasn't bad. It could be better, right? Mm-hmm. But that helped propel us to generate more over the years. So I'm like, okay, instead of generating, if you're used to making like 200,000 a year, right? Well, by hosting an event or doing something like that, you could have the 200,000 that you just made plus an event a couple times a year that also generates 200,000, right? So then you're building it up. So then that's going to get you to that 7 figures a lot faster. But then you're also enrolling them at the event into something of subscription model. So that's how we started doing that. And we didn't even go into paid advertisements, but we'll talk a little bit more about that in a future video. So.
Yeah. And also having like referral, programs in place that help you generate more referrals is what's going to help you get to 7 figures. We have our CMO, like he has sold a paid ads agency and he built his business off of referrals. Mm-hmm. And I mean, we have too. So when you're delivering a great service, like just have conversations with your current clients and just be like, hey, like, do you have any connections or referrals for me? Like, do it in a way. How would you approach that actually? Like in the Tamara way?
That should be a whole nother video.
Yeah, no, you're really good at that. I'm awkward with it. So
building relationships was the core way for us to actually build to our first 7 figures. It was really through referrals, paying attention to our current clients, asking them how we're doing, asking them specifically. If you don't have the guts to ask for help or ask for something, then you're never going to know. So we started asking for referrals and things like that, building the relationship. So I remember one year, like the first year of generating like 200,000, then the next year we generated 600,000. Like it's because we actually asked for referrals, back when we first started years ago. And so that piece was just like, oh, that was kind of an aha moment. We over doubled the revenue that particular year. But the relationship factor really makes the most sense. So I always approach people in a sense of how can I provide value first, never with the intention of what do you have for me? What can you give for me? Who can you introduce me to? Even though in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, oh, eventually it would be awesome to see the reciprocation. Mm-hmm. And the majority of people that know me now, they know how I work. When we see referrals and introductions crossed over throughout our network all the time, I'm randomly getting text messages. Hey, Tamara, I think you should meet this person. I want you to meet this person. I also text message all these individuals. Even our competitors are never competitors. They are collaborators because you want to see how you can help them as well as they can help you, because we might be able to have a resource or something in our network or somebody that they might have a different industry or something, and what we do with the podcasting agencies piece of it. But how can you help provide value to people and build relationships? How can you get in front of them? How can you surprise and delight them? How can you send them a gift that's unique to themselves? Example, like Sarah Blakely, right? You want to get in front of, she obviously sold Spanx for billions basically, and she's doing some other cool things, but like the thought was like, hey, I know she likes Cheez-Its. Why not send her a huge box of Cheez-Its to the Spanx thing to get in front of her, get her attention? If you're trying to get in front of a football player or not a football player, but trying to get in front of an executive that loves this particular football player, why not get the autographed football from their favorite person? Like, do the research on what these people like. What do they enjoy? What do they need? Right? So on our next season at SiriusXM for our podcast, we have amazing guests coming out, 3 of them of which I guessed their emails. All 3 of them guessed their emails. One's a billionaire. He's coming out. We got confirmation he's going to come be on our show. I said, we'd really appreciate building a relationship with you. We've got a top podcast. We record at SiriusXM in Las Vegas. And, I know it takes time out of your time to come out, but I'd be happy to offer you a tower suite at the Wynn Resort, which is a beautiful luxury hotel, which we do is the same place where we record our content at SiriusXM in the Wynn Resort. Things add up. But why does this billionaire need to come to our show? He doesn't need but we also said, hey, while you're in town, since you're coming out to spend time with us, would it be helpful and more valuable if we could matchmake you with other podcasts while you're here? So you're not just coming in to be on our show, but on top of that, why don't you be a co-host of our episodes that season 2? So you can come in and be like, hey, we feature you as a guest. You're going to be a co-host with us, give more value, give more content, build a relationship, invite to dinner, see how you can help support. And those are the things that just organically start to happen. So I have some really interesting big level individuals coming out that I'm super excited for. But that's how I always think. How can I reach out to someone without ever expecting how to get to XYZ, because it's not about me, it's about them. So if you push a vision, always about them, give value first, where they can reciprocate and ask a question. Then in the next email, you can say something like, oh, that's great, Tamara. Like, tell me a little bit more about yourself, or what do you guys do? Or, things like that. So then the conversations start. Right. And so I'll take connect calls with people just to build a relationship to see how I can help them. I had a call with a gentleman last week. One of my friends, Brian, he introduced me to another gentleman, and he was like, you two should connect. So we took a connect call, and then he was literally like, hey, he's like, I have a podcast coming out. And he's like, I actually think you'd be a great guest. And then it organically started talking about what we do as an agency. And then he was genuinely interested in what we do. And he's like, well, I could potentially work with you guys to do this. I'm like, you totally could. Like, yeah, now you know what we do, right? So I'd love to be a guest on your show. I'd love to introduce you to other people. And that's really what happens. And so I think that just building those relationships, even if you talk to someone 7 days from now, 7 months from now, I have people coming back making introductions to me 7 years from ago. Like, that's because you stick in their brain, and that you basically create an imprint on somebody's life through experiences, through conversations, through giving back. That's real and it's authentic, and you're just like, hey, just do this. I'm going to do this. If something comes of it, awesome. If something doesn't, it wasn't meant to be right then. But don't think that it won't come back later, because that's usually what happens.
Yeah, and I want to go back and extract a little bit with your brilliance of reaching out to people, because like I've tried to reach out to people, and sometimes I don't have the same response. Like Tamara, if anybody knows Tamara is like this extreme connector, amazing at relationship building. She's literally brought people together that are like now business partners or best friends, or like maybe getting married. Like, I mean, these people, I mean, it's true. It's great connections that she's bringing together in the space. And so like when you go, let's say, are you like directly messaging them in like Facebook Messenger, Instagram Messenger? Are you finding their number? Like, how are you just emailing? I know you said you found like 3 of their emails and you emailed them, but normally their assistants manage their inbox. So that's what I would think. And so I'm just wondering, like, how do you feel like you really made that connect point? And when you wrote that message, did you just go straight in for like inviting them, giving value and inviting them in to be on your podcast? Like, what does that look like? Give us an example.
I feel like I should just open up an email and just read it to you guys, just to kind of see the extent of it. I'm going to try this real quick. So I didn't know this gentleman's email or anything, but I was like, I'm just going to guess it based on his name and his website. Like, it's pretty easy. You could also use things like hunter.io and some different tools to try to look up what they think is an individual's email. So Danielle purchased this gentleman's book. It was a high-end book. She was enjoying the content. She was like, I would really like this guy on our show. I'd love to interview him. I'm like, well, I'm like, I will make it happen, because I'm good. Love it, manifesting, love making things happen. So I said, hi, so-and-so. I said, my partner recently purchased your book of secrets and has been truly enjoying it. It sparked some incredible conversations for us. I'm reaching out because we would be honored to feature you on our show and dive deeper into your methods, philosophies, and your written work. Your invitation, we would like to invite you to be both a featured guest and a co-host for this special season, which includes a featured guest episode on Broadcast Your Authority, 2 co-hosted episodes where you join us with high-level conversations with high-level guests. I was like, the details are March 11th or 12th. It's at SiriusXM Studio in the Wynn in Las Vegas. I was like, you'd either choose morning or afternoon. It's just a half-day session. We'll be recording four sessions across the 2 days, and you could join us from one half-day block. I said, if you're open to joining us in person, we would be delighted to host you and book a suite for you at the Wynn Resort. The in-studio experience inside is actually a $14 million SiriusXM facility and truly unforgettable. Of course, we understand the travel and time commitment. If virtual participation works better for your schedule, we can absolutely accommodate that as well. We simply wanted to extend the invitation because we deeply value your time, energy, and message. Thank you for considering this. It would be an honor to collaborate with you. Thank you. Warm regards, Tamara.
And you got a reply.
And I got a reply from him the next morning. Good morning. Thank you for your email and your kind compliments. I will have Dustin on my team reach out and we'll work out the details. Have a wonderful day.
And so what I'm dissecting from that is you're not just giving one thing, like be on my podcast, like it's an ego thing. You're giving them the experience to come out in person, spread their knowledge and message more. You're offering to pay for a suite and you're offering them to come out to a gorgeous studio. It's not just, it's an amazing studio.
And from there, I read that email, right? But then I got on the call with his marketing guy, Dustin. And then from there, I said, to provide extra value on that, we will have other client shows in town during that time. Would it be helpful or valuable to you if we could make some other episodes that other afternoon after he's left SiriusXM, and since he'll be in the area already, would that be more value? So not just getting them to say yes and provide value, but what other value can you bring in there? What can you say? Oh, I have this great connection. I'd love to introduce you to so-and-so. I think they'd be a great connection for you. Actually, I think you'd be a great speaker for this upcoming event coming up. I'd love to connect you with our client that hosts events. Like every single conversation, how can we help provide value, even if it's money out of our own pocket, to book someone a suite for 1 or 2 nights, depending on their availability. We have a woman coming out joining us as well. I'm not going to say names right now, but she's built success over the years. She's very well known. And she's going to come out and join us for actually 3 days because she actually wants to come out after we've had 2 calls. We have actually another call tomorrow. And we're going to be doing some partnerships with some things for our brands. And there's no reason why she has to do anything with us or for us or meet us. But we're booking her a suite for come out and visit us for 3 days because she wants to spend a couple days with us to talk business before we even record the shows. So think about different things to help, because we resonated with her on a bigger initiative that she's got going on this year, and it's something else that we're doing as well. So when you can find those commonalities and see what they are actually passionate about, then you start to connect the dots. And that's why people call me the connector, because I'm not just connecting marketing or YouTube, or it's people, it's podcasts, it's conversations, it's business. You want to connect the dots in all ways so that you can thrive and reach. And that's how we built the first 7 figures. It was the relationship factor.
Yeah, it's like it's really truly podcasting too. Like podcasting really gets people's foot in the door to build like a deeper relationship with them. They're sitting down with you. You're having these intimate conversations. It doesn't feel like a planned conversation. It's just a natural flowing conversation, and you get to know them, they get to know you, and naturally they're like, well, yeah, what do you do? Like, how can we work with you? And we've seen a lot of business and clientele come from just having a podcast in general, that we could talk more about this on a Broadcast Your Authority podcast.
Exactly. And that's why just stay humble, take care of things for people, give more value on that side. Not everything that I do or ever give value to pays back, and not everything pays back fast. But what I have seen is that the majority of people have been brought into our lives for a reason. And I see this kind of like connective circle where the way that I see the universe falls is when it doesn't hit like that touch point, like it's kind of like it keeps circling each year. That these people tend to come back in some way or another. And then that's when they were meant to work with you. That was meant to do a project or do something. So it's like, at least they know you at this point. You built something, you made them remember you. And then one of the things people always say is we always have memorable experiences. They remember us. They remember how they felt. They remember the people they connected at our events. And so that's one of the things that I think is really important, is just like allow people to remember how they felt connecting with you or being on the podcast. I had dinner with a couple of our clients last night, and we were in studio talking about how in-person podcasts are way better because you're not just like over Zoom, like we're past the COVID days. Like if you're open to just flying out and being on a show, do it. People are like, oh, I don't want to spend the flight just to go on somebody's podcast. Why not? If that can have a ripple effect to open the doors, hop on a flight wherever they ask, and build that relationship, because it comes back tenfold. So I think it's more of like an ego thing, but also like oh, I'm cheap, like I'm going to hop on a flight. If somebody asks me to be in person, I will do it, because something will happen. Something great will happen. If it's not right then at that day, it will happen over time. So, and then you never know if someone's going to see that awesome in-person podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like not having the expectation that every podcast guest obviously is going to become a client. Like we never expect that. It's just what comes naturally from it. Like we've seen introductions, we've seen like great friendships develop, we've seen partnerships, we've seen like them do become clients. And so there's just like podcasting, it really just opens that door to build better relationships.
Yeah. And I think one of the other things too is being able to, another part to building that 7 figures is one, being able to have that relationships with those clients that keep coming back year after year, but then also not being afraid to ask for more from them. 1, more from the referral side, and 2, more is in putting them into an upgraded experience with you. So this year, we decided to open up and unlock other types of opportunities on an upgraded level with our clients. So before their agreements concluded at the end of the year, I got on a call with the majority of the clients just to let them know that some of the new upgraded experiences and direction that we were doing, that 1, allowed for the retention rate to rise, but then also generate multiple 6 figures on the bottom line more to it, because they now upgraded into a new level price point as well. So that can get you to the 7 figures faster too when you're
and it's an ascension path for them.
Yes,
because what we notice when we're working on our clients' podcast is they may need better funnels, or they may need better marketing here and there. And so like we go into the strategy of it and really uncover that and allow them to ascend into the next level in their own businesses.
It's true, because like becoming a more of like an upgrade experience, like we want to help teach them how to leverage their podcast to make money. And that's the bigger goal here is with our clients, is like how to leverage that, let people aware of what you do on your show, and utilize it as a resource and tool to generate leads and ROI. That's the bigger thing here, is just understanding that you can leverage podcasts to do just that. And so we've generated multiple millions through podcasting, through our offers, through different things, through different conversations. And it's all been around podcasting. And so people are like, well, how do you do that? But it's that's what we do with our clients, is we sit down and strategize, like, what are the core funnels? What are those things? How can you leverage the podcast? Where do you actually place the ads? What kind of ads should you be using? And we can talk a little bit more about that in the next episode. We'll talk about how to scale to 7 figures annually in your business, because we know it's not a feat that majority of small businesses typically generate or make. I've learned that from lots of statistics lately. And our goal with Women Unlocking Wealth is to actually help more women hit their 7-figure mark, hit their 7-figure annual mark, whatever that looks like for you. And that's what I'm just excited to continue with you on this journey. So those of you that are watching, be sure to subscribe to Women Unlocking Wealth. You can take a listen over on Apple or Spotify or anywhere that you listen to your audio podcasts. Check us out, go to broadcastyourauthority.com if this resonates with you and you want to learn more about our content marketing services, your podcast marketing, the full done for you one-stop shop for your show. Go to broadcastyourauthority.com and we'll see you in the next episode.